Hello, and how are you guys doing today? My name is Skipper Wynn, and I'm the Vice President of the Mayor Youth Council. I'm also a junior at City Middle High School, and I would like to welcome you to Kidspeak 2014, D Squared, Diploma to Degree.
Hello everyone, my name is Nkatha Mwenda. I'm also a junior at City Middle High School and a member of the Grand Rapids Mayor's Youth Council. And we will be your MCs for today's event. But first, we would like to introduce you to Dave Veneklas, Executive Vice President of Organization Development for Davenport University. As a member of the President's leadership team and cabinet, Dave provides leadership and direction for HR, student employment, diversity, corporate training and partnerships, faculty and staff training, and development functions for the university. He is a native of Grand Rapids and holds a bachelor's and master's degree in business administration at Grand Valley State University. Dave has 3 daughters, Emily, Allison, and Rebecca. Emily graduated from Davenport in 2013. Allison graduates in 2014, and Rebecca graduates in 2015. Please help me welcome Dave Veneklas to the stage as he gives us some welcoming remarks.
Thank you and welcome. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to have a lot of energy in this room. We need to start it with a lot of energy. To get us through the day, we need to wake everybody up. So even those folks online, I want a hearty good morning. So let's try it again. Good morning. Good morning. Excellent. Now that's the energy we need. As I was very kindly introduced, my name is Dave Veneklas. I'm the Executive Vice President for Organizational Development here at Davenport University. I've been here for 14 years. Just by a quick show of hands, how many of you, this is your first visit to our campus here? Great. Well, welcome. I'm very honored to be able to welcome you. Normally, the president, our president, Rick Pappas, would love to be here to welcome you himself. I want to extend his welcome on his behalf. Unfortunately, he is attending a funeral this morning for the mother of one of our board members, Carol Van Andel. So he extends his welcome as well. But we're very excited to be able to host this event. It is so fitting for us, and I want to give a special welcome. I would introduce them all, but you can see it would take me a while to do so. But we have many elected officials, educational leaders from Grand Rapids Public Schools and others, community leaders here with us today. And the importance of today's event is that we listen to you. We listen to our youth. And why that is so natural for us here at Davenport for a number of reasons. One, you may have read recently that we are going to be starting next fall a new college here at Davenport University, College of Urban Education, which our founding dean, Dr. Andre Perry, is working very closely with our partner in Grand Rapids Public Schools and Superintendent Teresa Weatherall-Neal and the community on a very unique partnership that we're very excited about, that we believe will better serve our community and allow us to serve other communities as well. But listening to the youth is something that comes natural for us. We as an institution have understood and are trying more to understand the needs of our communities so that more and more of our youth can be successful in their endeavor in higher education. We need you to be successful in higher education. And in our efforts in developing, through the research that we've done so far, in developing bridge programs to help students transition successfully into higher education has resulted in higher retention rates here at Davenport. They've increased every year for the last 4 years. Our graduation rate has gone up 105% in the last 5 years, 20 percentage points, and we're not done, but it is a sign that we're on the right path. But what's most important for us is to hear from you. And we're very excited to have you here today. We're very excited to learn more, as all of us are, learn more from you. in your experiences and how we can help support you to be successful. So welcome, thank you. We hope this is not your last visit to Davenport University. So thank you very much, welcome, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, Mr. Veniclass. As mentioned, today's proceedings are being streamed live and are being taped by GRCC to be aired on the GRPS cable channel 27 at a later date. So be sure to show your good side at all times.
Today you will hear a wide variety of opinions from young people eager to let their voices be heard. They will give their honest opinion on what post-secondary success means to them. They'll also tell you what types of supports they need in order to earn a diploma and a degree. As youth, we hope our thoughts and our opinions will be taken seriously, and we hope they are reflected in future decisions that are made on our behalf.
Kidspeak is an annual forum created by Michigan's children and facilitated throughout Michigan. In Grand Rapids, this forum is facilitated by the Mayor's Youth Council, which is a program managed by our community's children. We are a group of high school teens who live in the city of Grand Rapids, and as a council, we meet with Mayor George K. Hartwell monthly to discuss issues facing youth today. We also learn about our community and the role city government plays in our lives. You'll notice my fellow Mayor's Youth Council members wearing a special edition Kidspeak 2014 t-shirt in royal blue. Thanks to a grant from the Grand Rapids Community Foundation's Youth Grant Committee, we were able to provide t-shirts for the youth that attend this event. So as a symbol of unity, please take a moment to put on your t-shirts. As you continue to put on your t-shirts, we hope that you'll wear your t-shirts often and with pride.
As members of the Mayor's Youth Council, we have the opportunity to sharpen and utilize our leadership and public speaking skills. This is our first year on the council, and it's been an awesome experience. We are honored to have our monthly conversations with Mayor Hartwell and had special attention at his State of the City address. We also met with state legislators in Lansing. While we were there, we took a tour of the state capitol building and the Lansing City Hall, where we met with Mayor Virg Bonero and Police Chief Michael Yankowski. This year, we also toured Grand Rapids Police Department, visited the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum, presented at the State Board of Education meeting on the importance of after-school and employment programs, volunteered at Clark Retirement Homes, and developed our platform.
We named our platform Voting 101, Why Should I? We feel that it's important for young people to learn about voting process and how voting impacts our lives, so that when we turn 18, we will be more likely to register to vote and be a part of the voting community. We are in the process of filming a 1-minute Voting 101 PSA, which will be shared on social media outlets and shown to our classmates at the 8 schools represented on the Grand Rapids Mayor's Youth Council. We've also been trained as election workers, and you will see us at the polls on May 6th, so don't forget to vote. And we're also registering our peers to vote. For more information about what we're up to as a council, visit www.grchildren.us. That's grchildren.us. Throughout all our activities, we've learned about how city government operates, the amount of work that it goes into running a city government, and how important youth voice really is. Now, please help me welcome the Honorable Mayor George K. Hartwell. Mayor Hartwell is in his 3rd term as a mayor, and he has been a great mentor to us during our term on the council this year. We appreciate his genuine interest in our points of view, his willingness to discuss the issues of the day, and his sense of humor. Mayor Hartwell is a strong advocate for the youth and is dedicated to making sure our city is thriving and sustainable, both economically and environmentally. As one of his platforms, he's promoting the To College Through College initiative that is helping more young people obtain their college degrees. Mayor Hartwell will now give some remarks and introduce the Kidspeak listening panel.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much for being out here this morning. Davenport University, thank you for hosting us here. This is an incredible facility on a beautiful campus, and it's an honor to be able to be here with you. So to Nkata and Skipper, thank you for your leadership today. You've started us out well. And Mayor's Youth Council members, thank you all. This is, as Nkata and Skipper were telling you, this has become an important part of our operations in City Hall. We have 18 young people from our city schools who are engaged in this year-long experience on the Youth Council, meeting with me, meeting with city commissioners, going to Lansing. On the one hand, they're learning all about government and local government and how it works. At the same time, they're also learning leadership skills and developing their own leadership skills. And for me, it's an opportunity to hear the voice of youth that I don't often get that chance to hear. And I know my colleagues on the Grand Rapids City Commission feel much the same way. It's our listening opportunity with our youth. This is another one of those listening opportunities, and I look forward to this each and every year. So I'm delighted to have a great group of panelists joining me today. Rather than try to introduce them all, I'm going to ask each. I think we just got the one microphone here, so just kind of stand where you are. Representative Dillon, let's start with you down there on the end.
Brandon Dillon, State Representative from the City of Grand Rapids. Walton Kowski, First Ward, 16. Jordan Bush, District Director for Congressman Justin Amott. Kevin Dahlgren, Police Chief. Radar Roth, Driver for the School Board at Grand Rapids Community College.
Adam Erber with the Office of State Senator Dayton Ray.
Our community's children.
Good morning. I'm Andre Perry, Dean of the College of Urban Education here at the mighty Davenport University. Mighty.
Wendy Fall, President of the Grand Rapids Public School Board.
Ray Ann Booker, Executive Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at Davenport.
Matt Gillard, President of Michigan's Children.
Maureen Slade, Vice President, Grand Rapids Public School Board of Ed.
Sarita Muir, Third Ward City Commissioner. Good morning, Chelsea Kidspeak, Director of Admissions, Grand Valley State University.
Tom Baker, Mayor of the School Board Member, and I'm next to Good morning, Nigel Lester, Calvin Coe, Associate Director for the College Program.
Roxanne Jewell from Western Michigan University.
And Dave, you've met. Great. So you can see we've got an outstanding panel here, a listening panel here this morning, representing federal government, state government, local government, including the City Commission and the Board of Education. You've got higher educational institutions here at the table. You've got the Chief of Police at the table. So we are eager to hear from you, and that's what this is all about. So without any further ado, I'm going to, Skipper and Kata, will you introduce the next speaker, or shall I do that myself?
I'll continue.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Hartwell and listening panel for being here today. One of our partners for Kidspeak organization is an organization called Michigan's Children. Michigan's Children is a statewide organization that advocates for the needs of children. Michigan's Children's created Kidspeak and facilitates these forums all over the state. Its new president and CEO, Matt Gillard, is a former state representative who served in the House of Representatives from 2002 to 2008. Mr. Gillard is a graduate of Alpena High School. He received his bachelor's degree from Albion College and his law degree from Wayne State University Law School. He lives in East Lansing with his wife Jessica and their 3 children, Gracie, Joel, and Gus. Please welcome Matt Gillard.
Thank you, Skipper, for the kind introduction. Michigan's Children, as Skipper said, is Michigan's only cradle-to-career nonprofit child advocacy organization. In pursuit of our mission to create public policies in the best interest of children, we believe it is critically important that decision makers hear from children themselves about the issues they're facing and ideas for solutions to the problems that children and their families are facing here in Michigan. So it is critically important. So first I want to thank the mayor, I want to thank Davenport University, and I especially want to thank the Mayor's Youth Council and all the presenters here today for your effort and participation in this event. Your effort and participation in this event and events that happen like these with other children throughout the state really is a tremendous help to those of us that are fighting for policies and fighting to make Michigan a better place for children and their families in Lansing. And so think about that as you speak today, and I'm sure some of you are nervous and some of you are getting ready to make a presentation to this panel, that what you're doing is really important. It's important for people who are making decisions in our governments, whether it be city, local, or local, state, or federal, to hear from kids about what's important, what's happening in their lives, so that we can help make decisions that make your lives better and make the kids that come behind you's lives better as well. So thanks again for all your efforts. I'm excited about this, and I will turn it back over to Skipper to introduce our next, or to Katja to introduce our next speaker.
And Katja, before you start, let me, because she came in after introductions, introduce County Commissioner Candace Shivas, who's also joined us.
Thank you, Mr. Gillard. Now I would like to introduce you to Lynn Heemstra, Executive Director of Our Community's Children. Our Community's Children is an organization that advocates for public policy in the best interest of youth, promotes caring partnerships, and creates and manages innovative youth programs that prepare us for the future. Ms. Lynn has been Executive Director of Our Community's Children since its creation in 1998. In her role, she has secured millions of dollars in national, state, and local grants to fund after-school programs and community initiatives in Grand Rapids. She is also an advisor on the National League of Cities Education and Post-Secondary Success City Action Network. Please help me welcome Lynn Heemstra.
Thank you, Nakatha. And thank you all for being here, and for the Mayor's Youth Council. You've done a marvelous job in organizing this event, and it's a very important topic. Very eager to hear from the young people because it will directly impact the work we're currently doing in our To College Through College initiative, where we want to see all children have access to college and to get through college for a college degree. College opens the world to people, and we want to make sure that we're listening to what you have to say. Thank you, too, for all of the listening panel who are here, committed to this event, and to hear about what young people have to say. And certainly I want to thank our partners, Grand Rapids Community Foundation, for supporting us, the Grand Rapids Public Schools, certainly the City of Grand Rapids, and Michigan's Children. So with that, let's hear the testimonies.
In preparation for today, the Mayor's Youth Council developed questions that we wanted other young people to answer. These questions were designed to not only provoke thought, but also invoke passion. So today you'll be hearing answers to the following questions. The first question being, do you plan to attend and graduate from college? Why or why not? The second, do you feel you are being exposed to the proper resources to attend college? Are there enough opportunities to meet with your counselors, go on college visits, and obtain college-going resources? The third, what type of obstacles do you think you'll have to overcome to get to college and through college? For example, financial constraints, academic preparedness, mental health concerns, physical disabilities, and emotional supports. The fourth, how are you being encouraged or influenced to attend college? The fifth, do you think a college degree is necessary to be successful? Why or why not? The sixth, how are you being prepared now for life after high school? And lastly, the seventh question, give some ideas about how your school or school system can better prepare you for college.
In my opinion, high school emphasizes the importance of going to college, and that's a good thing. This emphasis on college education is what drives most high school students, and I know it drives me. We are told over and over again that a college degree is needed and necessary for jobs of the future and today. At home, my parents preach the importance of education, and to me, education means how I can make my life easier through gaining more knowledge.
Excuse me. And now what we've all been waiting for. Our first speaker this morning will be Raquel Milbrooks, an 11th grader from City High Middle School.
Good morning. When students hear about the entire process of college and the necessary tools needed to apply and be accepted, to us it feels as if we need to battle world hunger or be a member of the United Nations to be able to attend a prestigiously highly acclaimed college. Now, I'm obviously exaggerating, but as students, we are asked a lot to even be considered in college. First, an acceptable ACT score. Second, a range of extracurricular activities that can include sports or memberships of organizations which can truly show a student's character in action. Thirdly, effective writing and communication skills. These are just a few of many criteria students need to strive to be considered college worthy. The following are criteria that I believe that can really motivate students to be encouraged to pursue higher education. And a major problem with students is that they lack support systems and role models to guide them through the college process. Any advice about college will motivate and increase students' determination to succeed academically in high school. What I found detrimental was true advice from college students. This advice seemed to help me be more prepared mentally and emotionally for a big step in my future. By building students' mental, physical, and emotional preparation for college, this can easily increase their determination to strive for a higher education. High schools are supposed to prepare students academically for college by helping students develop a strong and independent work ethic and by giving continuous encouragement to do better. A favorite quote of mine, good, better, best, never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best, describes how teachers and support systems, encouragement, and constant help when needed will produce the best students instead of mediocre or barely pass students. The biggest deterrent from attending college or dropping out is the issue of money. Continuously educating students on the vast options of scholarships available and also helping with the applying process can easily help with increasing their motivation. Many students know college is expensive but don't realize how expensive it can get. Adults tell us every day how expensive every aspect of college is, which can immediately lower some students' self-esteem about the issue. Money is a mental roadblock for students who know they will never be able to afford college because of their family's financial status. By slowly building the motivation and determination for students to achieve a higher education will increase their perseverance to rid these roadblocks and continue towards pursuing their futures. Students by their senior year should also know their strengths and weaknesses and their passions. Most don't, making it very difficult for them to choose a major suited for their lifestyles, personalities, and background, which in the end should suit them happily. College offers unimaginable opportunities that students should take advantage of. Personally, I'm excited to explore a new state, meet new people, study my selected career, and see where my future takes me because college is serious business, and I hope my peers follow suit. Thank you.
Thank you, Raquel.
Our next speaker this morning is Angel Barreto Cruz, a 12th grader at Union High School and a part of the Hispanic Center of Western Michigan.
Good morning. Okay. So, do you plan to attend college and graduate? Question always asked by many families and friends. As soon to be a first-generation student, we feel pressure to say yes. First, I wasn't sure if I wanted to attend college. I didn't know much about it other than college was the place where I needed to go to get a degree, to get a good career. Throughout my freshman and sophomore year, I always hear the same things about college, and at times things that were frightening me, especially when I heard about having to take out loans to pay for it. Since college is an investment, I have to be willing to make the best investment you will make, like my father would say. Over my high school career, I started to understand that yes, college was going to be expensive, but it's something anyone can accomplish. Attending seminars and conferences, hearing the stories of many who struggled to attend college, but accomplishing it gave me the push I needed to understand the importance of college. College was not the only place to get a degree, but was the place to go and find your passion for a career that you will enjoy doing for the rest of your life. Now, when I get asked if I'm going to college, I don't hesitate. I say yes, I will attend college and graduate with a degree. Seeing the struggles of my parents to find a job without a career has given me more motivation to attend and graduate from college. I don't want to be another Hispanic working in a factory, but a student with a degree pursuing the American dream.
Thank you, Angel.
Our next speaker is Jasonique Sane, a fourth grader at Congress Elementary.
Do I plan to go to college? Of course I plan to attend and graduate from college. I want to go to college so I could be successful, so I could have a good job. I could even get a scholarship, maybe for sports, music, maybe even a scholarship for academics. In order for any of this to happen, I must keep my grades up. I have to be able to work well with people and respect others. I am in fourth grade, and I know college may seem a long way away, but just because I'm in fourth grade now doesn't mean I can't think and talk about college now. I work hard every day at home and at school. This means that I turn in my homework because that is my responsibility. I am trusted by my teacher. I'm a fourth grade safety. My safety responsibilities include helping kids cross a busy street after school. I also follow the rules for safety belt use. I also help at home, sometimes with the cooking and cleaning. Preparing for college started in pre-K for me. I've always worked hard on keeping my grades up, so I guess I have been preparing my entire life.
Thank you, Jackie.
Our next speaker is Elijah Townsend, a 12th grader from Ottawa Hills High School and a part of the Grand Rapids Initiative for Leaders.
Hey, how y'all doing? Oh, okay. Hey, that's cool. Thank you so much. How you guys doing today? That's good. That's good to hear. Oh, it's better. Okay. My title of my piece is I'm Wide Awake. So here it is. I believe our current education system is a struggling provider of environment for learning. We are in need of adults to invest in a relationship with students, which will help to raise the value of importance of education, and this is my experience. After middle school, entering the 9th grade, I was a nice person overall, but destroyed inside by a lack of confidence and character. As I look back in my time of my life, I can see how I was leading myself towards failure and dealing with depression at the time. My eyes were open when I first met Mr. Alvin Gray. He was in an organization called Urban Young Life. He told me to, he took me under his wing, and he was mentoring me in relationships. And through this relationship, my eyes were open to what I could become and helping to identify the skills and talents that I have. I continued to work with my mentor, Mr. Alvin, at Ottawa High School. He also worked with me through a Grand Rapids Initiative for Leaders program called the Ambassadors Club. As a part of the club, I discussed and I realized that no life is worthless, including my own. Now, I realized that my hope to continue for my dream to come, I invest in it, and I realized I want to help others to invest their dreams. Teachers who invest in their dreams similar to mine, they experience with Mr. Alvin and can be a part of providing the guidance in the students. They need often the lack in order to help students understand the importance and values of education. Everyone deserves the opportunity to succeed. Without guidance, students are blinded and affected by what they don't see or understand. With guidance, students like myself can reach our full potential and being fully awake and fulfill their dreams, despite their current realities. So. Thank you so much for your time.
Our next speaker is Kristen Mitchelson, a fifth grader at Mulick Park Elementary.
Hi, my name is Kristen Mitchelson, and I plan to attend and graduate from college because college is a way to show people how smart you are, because all college does is to help you review what you've learned from elementary to high school. Also, some jobs require you to have a diploma to show them that you have knowledge in the area you want to work. Some people don't want to graduate from college because they think it's a waste of time, but I don't. I want to graduate to show people that they can achieve their goals in whatever they want to do. Another reason is some kids have to take the same classes over and over again because of the way kids are being taught at home. And the kids can't concentrate because they're always thinking about what their parents are saying to them. Some challenges that kids have is that they hear negativity from parents and other students. We need to encourage students that don't think they can go to college. In conclusion, I want to achieve my dreams, but the first step to do so in my plans is to graduate from college first, then to move on step by step.
Our next speaker is Joshua Webb, a 12th grader who attends West Michigan Aviation Academy and is also a part of the Grand Rapids Mayor's Youth Council.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joshua Webb, and I thank you, panel, for listening to our testimonies today. I appreciate the opportunity to share my thoughts and experience with you regarding today's topic, diploma to degree. Education has always been very important to me. After all, I will only be the third generation of my family to go to college. I have been told by my parents and grandparents that I will go to college with no exceptions. And each new generation in our family should achieve more and do better than the previous one. However, I do want to go to college, and I know that experience in getting a degree will give me more opportunities, choices, and financial successes than trying to make it with only a high school diploma. A degree will provide me and help me for the rest of my life. The first generation to go to college was my grandparents. They were successful in finishing college and getting their degrees. However, in the late 1960s and 70s, college was very different than it is today. University and college tuition was about 50% cheaper back then than the 60s than it is today. However, they faced challenges including racial discrimination and did their best to try to overcome it. Coming out of college, they went on to get their graduate degrees and work hard to provide for their families. My dad went on to college in the 1990s. However, his college experience was more different than my grandparents'. Overall, it was much, much more expensive. And for him getting a degree, it took about 5 years rather than 4 years to get an undergraduate. This incurred a large debt on our family, and it is a huge burden until it is paid. Also, like my grandparents, he had a family to take care of, and the 2008 recession took a big toll on him and other people trying to find jobs. He also is back in college to get his graduate degree, which is almost essential in today's economy. This is adding another financial burden to my family, and it will benefit us in the long run. My experience, however, will be different than the previous generations. College costs are rising at even a faster rate than before. Also, many grants will be cut at the federal and state levels as they try to balance their budgets. Lastly, because of larger rates of unemployment, it will be especially hard for us to find a job. These challenges are going to continue as long as a degree is necessary and to get a good job in America. As I face this panel, I see tons of hardworking Americans who have went to college before. They know that it is hard to complete and go to college. That is why I'm now asking them as adults and policymakers and fathers and mothers to try their best to send the kids of America to college. Thank you all for listening.
next speaker is Stephanie Menendez, a 12th grader at Wyoming High School and a part of the Hispanic Center of Western Michigan.
Hello. I, like some of you, will be a first-generation college student. This has been a challenging experience because it feels as if I'm going into it without any sense of direction. I feel as if I know nothing on a simple thing like filling a FAFSA application and writing an admissions essay question, which was hard for me. Yet there are so many things that require you to manage your time wisely and focus on whatever task you're doing. Yet there are so many things that require you to manage your time wisely and focus on whatever task you're doing. So taking afternoon classes sounds less stressful, but I have to make a wise decision and make sure that the schedule is going to fit around other responsibilities. As I start my plans to go on with college, I find myself in between my financials and where I stand academically. I had to familiarize myself with terminology like the differences between subsidized and unsubsidized loans, dependency flags, admissions, award letters, and the list can go on. Mentally, I feel as if finals will be my worst nightmare. I just hope that I can put things together and it won't be a struggle. Something that I am not looking forward to is being home food sick, since there's nothing better than a mother's cooking. I just wish her she could go along with me. Yet, at the end of the day, these obstacles are things that will benefit me in the future.
Our next speaker is Marshall Brummel, a 10th grader at Forest Hill Central who attends classes at Kent Innovation High.
Sorry. Hello. I, in addition to millions of other students around the country, plan to go to college after high school. This goal, this end idea for the beginning of our lives was not just an idea that came to me overnight, like, I think I want to go to college after high school. This was something that was fostered in me from the moment I could comprehend that school was not simply something that we do because it is required of us, but it is something that we do because it helps us out in life. Why? Because this idea was, simply put, never an option. My whole life, I was simply told that going to college was a sure thing. The how was not worried about or explained to me then. The how came later. But this simple thing, this concept of college being an expectation, not only encourages me to go, but makes it an expectation of myself. And it is not only parents that can reinforce this, it's teachers that can do it as well. At the school that I currently attend, college is spoken of in the same manner. This not only reinforces my own expectation, but creates obvious visual attitude changes in my peers. A change that I've witnessed in many of my fellow classmates. Something so simple as to keep saying when, not if, can change the mentality of a child so tremendously that they do not only believe it, but they make conscious efforts to move towards that goal. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Robert Arrington, a 12th grader at Innovation Central High School and a member of the Grand Rapids Mayor's Youth Council.
Good morning, everyone. So today I decided to do something creative, so everybody knows you snap for poetry and for a little bit of spoken word. A college degree is essential when wanting to succeed. To be or to not to be, to pay the fee or to not pay the fee is something that we're always thinking. From diploma to degree, sometimes I wonder, is it really worth for all of the fees? The fright of going into debt, wanting to become better educated when it comes to my college education is something that's highly anticipated. To attain my college degree, I just have to believe. Nothing can stop me, for I have grit. I'm willing to take my education as far as Evel Knievel did with his dares. I oftentimes run away from my thoughts of degrees, oftentimes frantic that I won't be able to pay back all of these lostful fees. I oftentimes wonder if I have been educated enough to do as I please while working towards my degree. I think of all of the work I would think I'll have to work harder. I think I'll have to work harder than most students in my college working beside of me. I think to better prepare me, there could have been better preparation for me to illuminate through the ACT. I could have been better prepped and I could have been better prepped if I was supplied with a class to help me select a career and help me find money that was always near. To make it through process, I won't need just my family, but support from the community that has once surrounded me. And push forth and attain my degree. What education means to me is something more than the most meaning things. I believe I can perceive my degree, if I receive my degree, the whole world will rejoice and ring. I'll be well educated like the web search of Bing. They oftentimes tell us that we can be anything, failing to mention the money incorporated things. Success is the most important thing next to letting freedom ring. From diploma to degree is what my heart's out to achieve. All we have to do is believe. All we have to do is plan ahead so we can strive. Among doing so, we won't do anything but thrive. Whenever we have at least a little bit of motivation, it can easily be translated to a little bit of dedication. Because we're man, we can achieve whatever it is we intellectually want to achieve. Receiving our diploma is just a dream seed planted awaiting its season to sprout after you make it through this college-bound drought. Sometimes along the way, you might huff and pout, but believe me, that pain will turn into gain when you let the dream you once planted sprout and wander about. I plan to attend Alabama State University while studying towards my business and political science degree, working to become all that has been set forth for me to be. I will graduate and I will hold high my college degree.
Our next speaker this morning is Norma Gonzalez Buenrostro, an 11th grader at Hart High School.
Good morning, everyone. Alrighty then. Whew, okay. So every great school and college carry a diversity of students, teachers, rooms, and buildings. Some community colleges, others high-end universities. No two facilities mimic each other, and that's the beauty about the American education. However, this diversity also contains a bad side, affecting children everywhere. Not all opportunities are the same for every student engaged in taking the full advantage of education. The diversity of opportunities represents an issue that carries despair and oppression. Only certain children receive the best opportunities, and the rest of us receive only the slam of doors closing on our faces. Some schools lack the fundamental equipment. Some lack the qualified teachers. Others lack money to grant students the success of college. But the greatest issue that steals children's right to an education are the bitter restrictions placed upon undocumented students who truly wish to continue and invest in their schooling. Being personally affected by such turmoil, it morphed me into the young woman that stands before you. I believe my parents took the highest risk in life of coming to America to obtain a better education for my siblings and me, to obtain a higher chance of succeeding in this world of poverty, and after all their struggles, the American dream we never met. For the government, we placed our hopes and dreams, ripped apart my family in two. My father was deported 2 years ago, and we as a family made the hardest decisions of our life. My sister and I stayed behind to continue our schooling, to acquire better opportunities, and to not worry about making it in life. Now I come to question this idea, based on the copious amounts of limitations placed upon me for the simple lack of documents that state where my mother gave birth to me. My parents left my birthplace in search of a better tomorrow, and I was raised here. I am no less American than my milky white-skinned friends and people I live amongst. I plan to graduate high school as possibly the valedictorian of my class, be the second to go to college, and be the first to obtain a PhD in astrophysics. My resources are limited to obtain my dreams, and unfortunately, I am not the only one. There are plenty of others in my position, and very few believe in us. However, a piece of paper should not determine anyone's future, far less restrict their education. This should be judged on the talents and gifts one has to offer, not in words or paper, but in actions, demonstrating their will and determination to succeed. I am disabled from receiving any financial aid from any government institutions. My options wither as the years progress. College now seems debatable and inconceivable. My plea to succeed in life goes unheard while my family suffers and dwells in their in an unimaginable hell of depression. Form and change, they're what led this country I call home to greatness and still probably possesses the ability to improve even more. For example, allowing translators to be present for those who desperately need it, encouraging and promoting the success of not only the most qualified students, but those who seem to be stranded behind, as well as opening the gates to more scholarships and financial opportunities for undocumented students who have earned the right to go to college. And finally, the simple fancy of acknowledging our untapped potential. I may not advocate for all undocumented students, but those who truly work their butts off and not only struggle to receive an A in English class, but fight to sit in that very desk, deserve a fighting chance to go to school and apply their knowledge to their career and make a difference in the world. It's not where you came from, who you came from, or what skin covers your body. We share a bond that no borderline or boundaries can separate, and that's the will to succeed and create something amazing out of yourself. And the first step to achieve this is by attaining a great education. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is Bria Tatum, a 12th grader who is a part of the Grand Rapids Learning Center.
Good morning. My plan after high school is to attend and graduate from Grand Rapids Community College and Olivet College. I plan to go to GRCC to take my general education classes and transfer to Olivet College for my bachelor's degree. I chose to transfer to Olivet for their forensics program, which will really help me be successful and have the building blocks for a successful career. The reason why I want to attend college is because I want to be a successful forensic scientist. I have always wanted to be a scientist. It has been a dream of mine. I have always liked science and physics, and I feel if you have the opportunity to go to college, you should go to pursue your dream. I had to work hard to pursue my dream. My junior year, I had a lot of trouble with grades and trying to figure out what learning techniques to use to graduate, or at least to continue on to the next grade. I started to attend the Grand Rapids Learning Center program in 2013. There I discovered that online classes were the best learning style for me. This year I have finished 21 classes in 8 months, which was a very big accomplishment for me. Since I've accomplished high school, I feel the motivation and dedication to finish college as well. People want a career and not a job. The difference between a job and a career is a job is something that pays you even though you might not like the work you do every day. A career is something that you will enjoy doing for the rest of your life and is worth every year of college. It's an area you will aim to improve every day, no matter what sort of field you're in. A career is a lifelong pursuit full of advancement and personal goals and fulfillment. I have struggled for a long time with fulfilling my goals. Now that I have passed high school, I am ready to start on the final path toward achieving my dream. Attending, excelling, and graduating from college are the only things standing in my way of fulfilling my career.
I would like to thank Senator Hildenbrand for his presence here and announce the next speaker. Next speaker is Daisha Davis Blivens, a fifth grader from River City Scholars, and is a part of Campfire Loop program.
Thank you. Hi. I do believe that going to college and getting a degree will be successful for people. So you can help other kids and other people to get a good grade and get a good degree. And that a college degree is very important so they know that you have people around who want them to be successful and graduate from college with any kind of degree. And that will probably influence them that, hey, I want to get my bachelor's and my master's degree like my mom. And look at her and got a good job at GVSU and a good family who wanted her to be successful, and look at her now. And that is why I believe that a college degree is necessary so that you can be a successful person in life. And I want to go to college like my mom and get my master's degree.
Our next speaker is Becky Solis, a 12th grader from Union High School and is part of the Hispanic Center of Western Michigan.
Hi, how are you guys doing this morning? Good. Okay, that's good to hear. I, like many of you, am a first-generation student and I will attend college this upcoming fall. I'm very excited. I personally wasn't one of those kids that, as they grew up, wanted to go to college. I knew I wanted a better lifestyle. I saw my parents go through a lot, but I never knew that college would be the key to start a better life. My parents didn't know about college, and neither did my older siblings. It never crossed my mind when I first attended a GRPS school. That was the first time the word college came up, and I knew nothing about it. That 8th grade year, I joined the program called Supporting Our Leaders, SOUL, with the Hispanic Center of Western Michigan. That is where I learned about college and was encouraged to go by my biggest mentors, Ricardo Martinez, Stacy Stout, and Mario Alfaro. If it wasn't for them, I don't know where I would be or what big changes I could make or take a part of in my entire life. Because of them, I chose to go to college and to be better in school. I plan to attend college to become someone better and to make a difference in the world, to be able to be a role model, not only for my siblings, but those that don't have a role model. College isn't the answer for many of the younger students or many of the younger teens. I want to show others that you don't have to be the brightest star to attend college. If you have a dream, follow it. If you stumble, people will help you. You're not alone. College, yes, it will change you, mold you, and yes, even bring you down at times, but it's not impossible. And I know that for a fact.
Our next speaker will be Phillips Gillespie, a 5th grader from Millick Park Elementary.
Hello, how's everybody doing today? Hi, my name is Philip Gillespie, and I plan to graduate from college. We need college to be successful. I like to play video games. Some games have cheat codes. You can skip levels without all the hard work. But school is a different story. You need to work hard, use strategies, and be engaged in learning. Because I enjoy video games so much, I want to create video games that help people use their minds. In order to complete my quest, I need a college education to help me understand technology. Your family doesn't want you to get held back. They want to see you be successful. Another reason I want to graduate from college is because I want my parents to be proud of me. So in conclusion, to achieve your dreams, you must understand that college is just not a degree, but it's a way to apply knowledge to your skills. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Serena Gaddis, a 4th grader from River City Scholars and is a part of a Campfire Loop program.
I am preparing now for my college life after high school in the following 3 ways. The first way I am preparing is by saving money. Starting to save money towards tuition, books, and room and board will help reduce the stress of paying college expenses. Having money instead of earning it at the last minute shows responsibility. Saving money will give me more options for the type of college I would like to attend. According to the College Board, the average cost of college of tuition and fees for 2013 and 14 school year is over $30,000 at private colleges, about $9,000 for state residents at public colleges, and over $22,000 for out-of-state residents attending public universities. The second way I am preparing is by developing disciplines. I am developing disciplines of studying daily to prepare for exams and tests, using time wisely and being responsible. Once college classes start, I will have to wave goodbye to the comfort of high school. A class syllabus will be my only reminder for homework and exams, and it will be my responsibility to stay on top of my work. The third way I am preparing for my college life is by earning college scholarships. To earn scholarships, I will have to do well in school and research possible scholarship opportunities. Nelson Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world." By preparing now for college, I am preparing to change my world. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Alexandra Van Urban, a 6th grader from Central Woodlands.
Hi, my name is Alexandria Von Irvin, and I want to share the reasons why I will attend college and graduate. My goal is to study marine biology to become a dolphin trainer. Graduating from college will help me accomplish this goal. Graduating from college also has many other advantages. One advantage to being a college graduate is that it will provide me with more job opportunities in life. And if I complete my master's degree, the opportunities become greater. My increased brain power from my studies will provide me with options that include possible relocation for my career, being able to set my own work schedule, and or having different choices for the company that I will work for. Another advantage to being a college graduate is that it will allow me different opportunities to explore the world instead of staying in the same place and seeing the same things that I'm familiar to as a kid. Taking responsibility and moving out of state takes a lot. Attending college prepares one for living independently. In college, you have to learn how to make your own decisions and how to recover from your mistakes. The last reason why I will attend college and graduate is because my mom says it's not an option, and because, duh, for the money. Graduating with my master's degree will have me getting paid big time. That means I will be able to afford the lifestyle that I want. I also will be able to do special things for my family. Thank you for allowing me to share with you the reasons why I will attend college. Events like this can help keep kids like me motivated to be the best students we can be. Also, that we can achieve both our academic goals and our ultimate goals in life. Thank you.
Our next speaker will be Valentine Piana, from an 11th grader from Union High School and is a part of the Hispanics Center of Western Michigan.
Good morning. I have faced many challenges throughout my life. Let me just here. And it's been hard going through life. I haven't really had that much motivation to go to school. And my family, they've never gone to school and they've never even heard about it. But I've learned that it's good for you and that if I try hard, that I'll be successful. I plan to go and finish college. The reason I want to attend college is I feel that it opens up many doors that some people don't have. It shows things about yourself, about what you like and what you don't like. It also helps you gain skills, social skills, and how to work with other people. To me, a college degree is necessary to be successful. It helps further your knowledge and the understanding of the world. If you choose to live on campus, which I do, you can learn how to be independent and experience what it's like to be by yourself or with someone else. You hear of so many people wishing they had a chance to go to college. I have a chance, so I'm going to take it. So yes, I plan to go to college because it will help me later on, now, and in my future.
Our next speaker is Yolanda Gonzalez, and a 9th grader from Hart High School.
Good morning. Imagine spending your entire life in a place you call home. You were raised speaking the language, eating the food, getting an American education. Imagine spending your life believing in the American dream it is yours to grab. Only to wake up in a nightmare that you are undocumented in a land of opportunity. It is a drought that demands a piece of paper that will unlock doors to opportunities to success. Let me introduce you to my sister, Brazeda. My sister is bilingual. She has attended American schools her entire life. As she gets closer to graduation, the enthusiasm that should be there in her future has vanished. The realization that she does not have access to financial aid or other assistance to pay college is a nightmare that plagues my sister's sleep. She desires to continue her education, but we are the children of farm workers. My desire is to attend college. I'm currently a freshman in Hart High School. As I walk down the hallways, I see students who look like me, sound like me, and have the same dreams as me. Unlike my sister, I am an American citizen. I have the opportunity to go to college if I choose. I can apply for financial aid and I can apply for scholarships. All because of a piece of paper that separates two sisters. My parents made an ultimate sacrifice. It's not my sister's fault that she was brought here as a child. In her heart, mind, and attitude, she's an American. But on the government's roster of citizens, her name is nowhere to be found. I recognize my way out of poverty is only through education. My desire is to be a physician. To practice general medicine is what drives my motivation, along with my desires to make my parents proud of the ultimate sacrifice that they made and let them know that the sacrifice was worth making. I am afraid that although my school is almost 50% Latino population, a very large percentage of my classmates will not make it to graduation day. And an even smaller percentage will not make it to college. Being prepared for college is something I should be receiving now as a freshman in high school. I know I need college, but no one has talked to my parents, nor I, about my options. Latinos have a limited access to college and resources. Some of the limitation is being Latino and working in a farm in a rural area. We need more resources, such as TRIO or Upward Bound, resources that will help us to succeed. I want to succeed. I want to have a voice that will be heard and a voice that will be loud, a voice that will bring change for me, my sister, and other students like us. If we don't define ourselves, others will define us in their own words. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is Rek Ludke, a 10th grader from Hart High School.
Good morning. Okay. Today I'm going to talk about opportunities. Today in Oceana County, the unemployment rate is 9.3%, and the community fund is decreasing. In recent demographic studies I've researched, most surrounding areas all over Michigan and the United States rising unemployment to 7.5%. And all of the people had an opportunity. Now, I'm sure we've all heard of opportunities and, of course, been given them as well. Think of an important chance in your life for good or bad. How did you do? Did you handle the opportunity, and do you regret it? Sometimes I do. See, I was never an outgoing kid at all, but I've always strived to get things done no matter the occasion. When I moved to Hart this time last year, I was a completely different person, but now I'm more confident in myself and my school along with the town to maintain itself as a good society for the children and students. I have had the most influential conversations with staff members in our county, and they have all taught me things that I believe few students even know about. One example of an opportunity for students is the dual enrollment courses and the possibility of an associate's degree right out of high school. Granted, I have attended only a minuscule amount of teachers, staff, and student meetings, but while attending these along with city council meetings, I have discovered the key to being successful is not just in our local community, but anywhere in the world. It is to respect yourself and all those surrounding you. If you show moral compassion, then all the community around you will change rapidly. Because nice people tend to like nice people, and the more people, the less failures. Then when people begin to increase their success, the more confident our societies will be, thus a brighter future for all the new children will be possible. If these kids are raised in poverty and never given the opportunity to move up in their economic class mindset, then there will be a lack of support and our counties will plummet. That is why we must keep the young ones pushing for a greater opportunity, and more opportune times will be offered. Some curriculums could be improved, and I being in a very diverse community where everybody's individual needs should be met to keep the United States a strong, independent country. We must create the opportunities ourselves, but we must also reach out to those for a greater future. Thank you.
And our last speaker, Hannah Creasy, an 11th grader from City High Middle and also a part of Grand Rapids Mayor's Youth Council.
Hello. My speech is called Preparing for College. Up until this year, I thought I had everything figured out. I assumed that colleges just wanted overachievers who stayed up all night studying and had no social life. So going into my freshman year of high school, I remolded myself to become that. I became class president. I joined any organization I thought would look good, and I got decent grades. I figured things like art and sports held no importance in the views of admission officers. So when junior year rolled around, I was pretty confident about my chances of going to college wherever I wanted. I was sadly mistaken. I first started to struggle when exams came around and I had to stay up for 3 days straight studying. That wasn't healthy. All the extracurriculars I had joined were making it impossible to stay on top of my schoolwork or even sleep a healthy amount. My grades were slipping, my focus was failing, I never saw my friends, and I was not happy. But I persisted through, believing that it wasn't good enough and I just needed to work harder. Needless to say, things just got worse. Eventually, I just couldn't do it anymore. I had what I call my reality check. After a long period of fighting depression, demotivation, and anxiety, I found myself at the computer, looking up colleges again. I read stories of people who had been accepted to great schools and realized they had all one thing in common. They were passionate. They did not join way too many extracurriculars just because they thought it would look good on a college application. They picked a couple of things that really interested them and they gave it everything they had. These things included music, sports, and art, all of which I thought would never stand out. I had spent so much time worrying about how I would look to college admissions officers that I had given up on doing everything that mattered to me. This was a terrible mistake, and I wish I could have learned it sooner. But I'm glad I figured it out before it was too late. I've since given up trying to be perfect. Being perfect would only make me less of myself. Dr. Seuss once said, "Today you are you. That is truer than true. There was no one alive that is youer than you." Colleges look for students who have dedicated their high school careers to success. However, success does not mean killing yourself to be perfect. Success does mean doing your best in school and being involved in organizations that help your community. But most importantly, to be successful in high school, you need to show that you are not afraid to chase your dreams. You are what you do, and universities are looking for individuals who want to use a college degree to pursue their dreams. My advice to everyone is to be yourself, to pursue the things that make you the happiest, and to remember, success does not bring happiness. Happiness brings success. Thank you.
Can we get another round of applause to the speakers today? At this time, please fill out the surveys you've been given. If you need something to write with, we have members of the Mayor's Youth Council circling with pens and pencils. Once you've been dismissed, simply leave your survey on the table in the back. Listening panelists, please leave your survey at your seat. Thank you, and have a good day. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
As you're filling out your surveys, we would like to take a minute to acknowledge and thank our partners and sponsors. Our partners and sponsors are our community's children, Michigan's children, the City of Grand Rapids, the Grand Rapids Public Schools, the Grand Rapids Community Foundation's Youth Grant Committee, and Davenport University. Please give all our sponsors a loud round of applause. High school students who are residents of Grand Rapids that would like to apply to be on next year's Mayor's Youth Council, which I would highly recommend, please go to our website at www.grchildren.us. That's www.grchildren.us. Also, if you are 15 to 21 and a Grand Rapids resident and looking for employment, the LEAD program is just for you. The LEAD program is a civic engagement, leadership, and employment program that starts in June. Participants learn about city government, cover letter and resume writing, financial interaction, interviewing techniques, and visit the mayor's 50 businesses. These are businesses that have agreed to hire those who go through the LEAD program. This program has even been recognized by President Barack Obama, so this is an opportunity you cannot pass up. Visit www.grchildren.us. That's grchildren.us, or pick up an application in the hallway, and applications are due next month. We would also like to thank Versatility for giving us a great deal on our t-shirts. And we'd like to give a special thank you to Michael Moore, who is a graphic artist for the City of Grand Rapids and designed this year's t-shirts. Now please welcome Ms. Shannon L. Harris, Program Coordinator for our community's children, as she gives you directions for lunch and campus tours.
Thank you. Can we get a round of applause for our MCs for today? You guys stand up. Guys, stand up. Turn around. They did an awesome job, didn't they? We have a little bit of time, and I want to open the floor to the listening panelists. If the listening panelists have any comments they would like to make regarding what they've heard.
Am I here? First of all, I just want to thank all of you for the time you took to prepare and to be here. I learned a lot. Overwhelmingly, I was really surprised how much money came up, both as a barrier, and both adults talk about how money is a barrier, and it was consistent across the board. And I especially want to say to the two Ms. Gonzalez's, powerful, so powerful. And the words untapped potential, I think, applies to all of the barriers we're putting up for young people to both get to college and finish. Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that how much financial aid issues came up. And in particular, I did my dissertation on the question of should undocumented immigrants receive financial aid. And I think the two ladies spoke to the issue not only with passion, but with sophistication around the issues. But more importantly, it is a metaphor for the issues that all of us face in terms of the financial aid barriers. People of color are disproportionately impacted by higher education's obsession with growth through financial aid dollars, and it's hurting all of us. And so these issues of being undocumented or whether or not you're poor are so connected. We need financial aid reform now. In addition, just briefly, mental health came up a number of times. And so we will certainly incorporate that into our, I would think, a recommendation. And finally, family support. Because so many of us did not come from families who have gone to college, there needs to be an education around the college-going process that's a lot deeper than we are currently doing. And so I certainly will make sure our admissions staff hear these comments that you've provided us, particularly around those 3 issues.
One thing I would add, time and time again, I heard about the importance of relationships, and those are family relationships. It's parents, maybe parents that didn't go to college themselves but are encouraging you. Maybe it's a teacher. It's somebody in an organization that's served as a mentoring friend for you. I despair that our high schools don't have the guidance counselors anymore that were available at one point in our history to help students first understand what the options are for college. Secondly, help them negotiate the financial aid questions that are so critical, and then help you choose a school that will be best for you. Those are resources that are in short supply, at least these days, I think, in virtually every high school. And I think that's something that I'd love to say to my colleagues here in the educational field. I hear that as being a really important element.
I would like to thank the young people, the Mayor's Youth Council, leaders. You are just awesome. So just having put together this, you are awesome. And then what an honor it has been for us to sit on this panel and hear from the speakers. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for compelling us to think differently, for sharing some stories I think that will even convict us to work even harder. I've sat on the Kidspeak panel, I think, for the past 3 years or so, and I always leave this session hoping that it hasn't been just a moment, but that Kidspeak is a movement, and that in response to your having shared your stories and challenged us, that we're demonstrating through our leadership that we hear you. I think that we owe that to you and to the next generations, that we hear you and that we're responding, and that it is demonstrated in our policies and our practices. So thank you once again, speakers, for convicting us, challenging us to do more.
Say something about the Youth Master Plan. You were involved in that process.
Yes, I was involved with the Youth Master Plan process for the city of Grand Rapids, spearheaded through Mayor Hartwell's office. And one of the things I found most beneficial about that process was getting those of us around the table, many of us who profess that we have a commitment to the youth of our community and to improving the outcomes, but getting us around the table, making sure that we have a common understanding, there's shared language, that we indeed know what success looks like for our youth, and that we are hearing and responding to you. That Youth Master Plan is a living document that's guiding our work as a community. And similar to Kidspeak, I hope that through that plan, we're also demonstrating that we hear you, that we're responding to you.
I would just like to add a couple of things. Not only were the speakers so impressive, but the courage that you showed to be very open about the barriers that you're facing and that you see other classmates or other family members facing. It inspires us as leaders to have the courage and the conviction that you showed to help address these issues, the need for immigration reform, the need for financial aid reform, the need for investment at the federal and state level in your futures. You are our futures. You heard with our MCs as they introduced me, I have 3 daughters. I'm blessed to have 3 daughters that have attended here, and one I get to present her diploma to this Sunday. And it is the most amazing feeling, and I'm committed to making sure I do everything that I can to ensure that you have that same feeling, that you have that same opportunity. So thank you very much for having the courage to inspire us.
I guess my comment is largely a challenge to the young people in the room. Obviously, you're leaders to some capacity, or you wouldn't be here. So I guess really I would recommend that along with the things that you offered, also understand that you have a collective and an individual responsibility to make change yourselves. I mean, it's definitely great if the people up here took in what you said and maybe try to put that in motion, but largely speaking to the 11th and 12th graders, you're soon to be voting age, and understand when you talk about making change, there's a need to mobilize yourselves, begin to mobilize yourselves as young people. If you look at the annals of history, particularly in the United States, there's really been no massive change that hasn't resulted off the backs of folks 18 to 24, 17 to 24. So it's great that all of us, I guess so-called important people are listening to you, but really the real challenge to you is what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do to make sure that laws change to make post-secondary education more accessible to everyone? What are you gonna do individually, I guess, to prepare yourself, to make yourself attractive to those that do have the economic means to offer you post-secondary financing? So again, I guess just what I would say is individually and collectively ask yourself, what can you do today for yourself as an individual, but what can you do collectively to really change the landscape as we move forward as a country?
And just to build on that a little bit, I really learn a lot every time I attend and participate in this listening panel, and I just appreciate all of you participating. And a lot of you did talk about college and the importance of higher education, which I couldn't agree more. But I like to remind people that education is a lifelong process. It just isn't about K-12 education and then going to college. I mean, all of us have sort of finalized our formal education as far as K-12 and higher ed, and now we're in our careers, but we still are constantly learning. We're challenging ourselves in our careers, in our personal lives, to learn more about what we do, what we believe in, what we feel about, what we want to pursue. So just encourage you to remember that education isn't just about going to school and getting those degrees. That's very important, but it's about pushing yourself throughout your entire life to better yourself and your community and your country. So congratulations and excellent job.
I'd like to applaud the students, but I'd also like to applaud the community supports and organizations that brought the youth here today. And I think that it's pretty evident that the in Grand Rapids Public Schools and all, but just a few that I'd like to mention that came up persistently. Other than that, there's the Mayor's Youth Council. Heart is in the house. It's nice to have Heart in the house, and it's definitely contributed to our learning today. The Hispanic Center has been, a very big supporter, and Campfire. I think that part of this conversation is around people in the city who are trying to figure out how to increase community supports for young people succeeding. And I think that I want to say two things. One is that your success will probably be also connected to you staying connected to those community supports. And then secondly, I think that as a community, we can ramp this up. I know that from my own involvement with the Hispanic Center that support continues after high school, and those are the kinds of supports that we as a community need to do to help our kids get all the way through college. So thank you.
I'd just like to really applaud all of you for your speeches. They were fabulous. It was clear that you'd put a lot of time and effort into them, a lot of thinking. And what I'd like to say is that I do agree with what I'm hearing from you, is that there is a real lack of funding for education, whether it's guidance counselors, like the mayor mentioned, in your high schools to help you, or it's the scholarships and the grants that you need to get to school. One of you mentioned that in the 60s and 70s, there was a lot more money to be had to get to college, and that is absolutely true. Now we have kids going into debt, young people going into debt. Before they're out of college, they're owing $30, $40, $50, even $100,000. I remember buying a house, my first house, for $10,000, and that was a huge burden. So coming out of school with that kind of debt and being able to buy a house is enormous. So I think that what we need to think about as policymakers, because policy, good public policy can solve problems. But the question is now, where are our values? where are we putting our money? Because where we put our money is a direct reflection of where our values are. And we need to be valuing you and your future. You are this nation's future, and it's beyond me why we have public policy now that doesn't support education like it needs to, because that's what this nation needs to be competitive and to give us all a quality of life that you so beautifully spoke of today. It's not just a job, it's a career. So I applaud you, and I urge you to vote. Even voting is becoming more difficult to do now. There are barriers that are being put back up that I never thought would happen. So you need to register, you need to vote and speak that way so that you elect people to change those public policies as they should be.
Well, I couldn't agree more with what my colleagues have said. And again, I want to thank Mr. Venaklaus and Davenport University for having us out here. Thank Lynn Heemstra and Shannon for all the great work they do year in, year out. And of course, most importantly, all of you kids that spoke today, you really were awesome. You did not sound like kids. You sounded like very intelligent people, of which you are. And all of us have great potential. The first hand talking about the money issues, I am a father of 4, so I have my baby is a senior at West Catholic, and she went down to talk to the counselors about scholarships and such, and after a good amount of time learning about what scholarships were available and everything, at the end of the meeting, it was stated, but it's too late. You've missed all the deadlines. That's a tough thing for someone to hear. She's going to study engineering, so she has an opportunity to go to University of Michigan, Grand Valley State, and UC Davis. The cost for her to go to UC Davis is one of the top engineering schools in the country is $250,000 by the time she's done. That's a lot of money, and so she's figuring out, does she want to put herself in that kind of debt, or does she want to take the opportunity that that Grand Valley has offered her here locally? I guess why I'm mentioning UC Davis for her, I have 3 other children. They went to school in Florida, one went to school in Wyoming, one went to school in Oklahoma. They all got great scholarships, and they all had that courage to leave home and to get a great education. So it may be here locally for you at a fine institution like Davenport. It may be further away, and I suggest that you really pray and have that courage to figure out what is best for you. Our last speaker, I love the fact that you said happiness is what brings about success. I'm a very happy person, and I happen to be a business person. And so as a business person, I encourage you guys to think about being a business person. A theme that I heard often was helping others. And as a business person, you can provide jobs for others, which help them in their quality of life. And as a business person, your business is always earning money even when you're not there. And that's the case for me here. I'm able to participate and learn from you while my business still operates due to the great colleagues I have back at work. So as you decide what is best for you, I want to leave you with this last thought is remember to always bring others up with you. It's easy to get ahead at the expense of others, but remember, always bring everyone else with you and you'll feel awesome. Thanks so much for speaking to us today.
Thank you, listening panelists. And I want to do one more, Andre?
I just wanted to say one thing, and this is very brief. I forgot to stress the point that this room cannot afford not to have a degree. And I just want to make this point. You think it's expensive, you think college is expensive? Try not having a college degree. You know, we have no choice. The reason why you are here is because this city, the residents of this city and this region, the poor folks, the people of color in this region need a college degree. They need that to translate to human capital, because when you look at disparities in health, in housing, in every indicator, a degree separates that. So while I am an academic and I can be as esoteric as it comes, I live for learning's sake. But the reality is our communities need a degree, period. And so you leave here with not the luxury of thinking about getting a degree. You leave here with the burden of getting your colleagues, your peers, who aren't paying attention, who aren't doing what they have to do to get that degree. That's your charge. We in this room cannot afford otherwise. I typically get passionate, and I was trying to be even here, but the reality is we don't have a choice in this matter. You can live the life that we are continuously leading, which is not good in a lot of our communities. So I just want you to be clear about the point of this, all of this. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Dr. Perry. So going to his point, I would like for the students to know where you all received your degrees from. So I'm going to hand the mic to Dave first, and if we can just do a round robin so the students can know where you attended school.
I was a Raider first. I went to Grand Rapids Community College and then completed my bachelor's and master's at Grand Valley State University.
I started at University Phoenix, the face-to-face version, and then I moved on to Western Michigan University and got my master's there, and I'm in the PhD program. And you are the next leaders who will be up here in the future.
I started my academic career at Grand Valley and then finished at University of Phoenix for my master's.
I went to Anderson University in Indiana for my bachelor's, and my PhD is at University of Illinois at Chicago.
My undergrad degree is from Grand Valley State University. My graduate degree is from Fair State University, and I'm back at Grand Valley right now working on another degree.
My undergraduate degree is from Davenport College, and my MBA is from Western Michigan University.
My undergraduate degree is with Cornerstone University right here in Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids Community College. In those days, it was Grand Rapids Junior College. And my master's degree and bachelor's degree is from Michigan State University. Yay.
I got my bachelor's degree from Albion College and my Juris Doctorate from Wayne State University.
My degrees are from Calvin College and from Western Michigan University. And you talk about being a lifelong learner. I just completed my first course at Davenport University.
My bachelor's degree was from Albion College. And my master's in divinity from Western Theological Seminary.
My bachelor's degree from Calvin College. And my master's degree from Boston College, and my PhD from Michigan State.
I got my bachelor's from Allegheny College in Meadville, Pennsylvania, my PhD from the University of Maryland, College Park. Go Terps.
All right. I got my BA at Calvin College. Woo! And I got my master's at Case Western University in Cleveland.
I received my Bachelor of Science at Michigan State University. Go Spartans!
My bachelor's from Western Michigan University, and my master's is from the HBCU Clark Atlanta University, and aspiring for a PhD from University of Michigan.
I received my associates at the Grand Rapids Junior College, or Community College now, and my bachelor's at Grand Valley State University.
I got my bachelor's from Calvin College, Go Knights, and my Juris Doctorate from Cooley Law.
I got my bachelor's at Aquinas and my master's at Grand Valley.
I went to kindergarten at Colville Elementary. Mrs. Brown was my teacher, and she told me I had a thinker that thought. Then I went on to St. Anthony's Grade School, then West Catholic High School. I had to figure out how to pay for college, so I was a musician that played around town, so I went to community college, and then I went to Aquinas College. I also received, and I say this purposely, probably the best education I had was from my mentor and my late father, Walt Gutowski Sr. I had an awful lot that I learned from my parents, and I encourage you to really entrust and learn all that you can from your parents.
I got my associate's degree from Grand Rapids Community College back when it was still called Grand Rapids Junior College. I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Michigan, go Blue, and I did my graduate work at Western Michigan University.
All right, another round of applause for our listening panelists today. Although I'm not a listening panelist, I want to give a shout out to my university where I received my bachelor's degree, Florida A&M University. Give it up. Right, the Rattlers. Okay, thank you all for coming. We appreciate your presence. Want to give another special thank you, and Dr. Baker had mentioned this earlier, all the after-school providers that are here, and hopefully I won't miss any of you, but Grill, thank you for coming. Granville Arts Academy, Granville Avenue of the Arts, Campfire USA, Loop and Loft. I think we have Innovation Central, we have Ottawa Hills, all right. We also have Union here today, thank you. The Hispanic Center of Western Michigan, and I also like to give a special thank you to Sonia Hernandez. She used to be a former high school dean for GRPS, and she's here with the Hart students, so thank you all for coming. And a special thank you to Dr. Booker, Dr. Ray Ann Booker. She is the Executive Director of Davenport's Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Give it up for her, yes. She was instrumental in the success of today's program, and when I called her and asked her, you know, what do you think about having Kidspeak at Davenport? She was on board immediately, so thank you so much, Rayanne Booker. I also would like to thank Deb Bales. I don't think she's here today, but she was also instrumental in helping with the coordination of this event. And Angeline, I don't think she's in the room right now, but she's from the admissions department, so thank you. Also, thank you to Ha for his IT specialties in the back. He's in the back there. Thank you to Ha, and Tim, who actually created the slide that you see behind you. So they all are still employees of Davenport. So we have some extra t-shirts that we are going to give out to all those that did not receive a t-shirt. But I've got a couple of announcements. You heard about the Mayor's Youth Council?
Ms. Shannon,
yes.
Before that, I just want to say a big thank you to Ms. Shannon L. Harris, who's done a great job with this event. Thank you, Ms. Shannon.
That's my boss, guys, so thank you very much. Okay, so you heard about the Mayor's Youth Council. You've seen the council members with the blue t-shirts on. If we have any high school students that are here that are residents of Grand Rapids in the 9th through 12th grade, we definitely encourage you to apply for the Mayor's Youth Council next year. The applications will go online this summer. So make sure that you go to our website, which is, you've heard it 1,000 times, and it's on your t-shirt, grchildren.us. So we're looking for young people to give voice to issues that affect them and meet with the mayor on a monthly basis. We're also looking for young people that live in Grand Rapids that are looking for employment to join the LEAD program. And LEAD stands for Leadership and Employment, Achievement and Direction. And we will start our 7th cohort of the LEAD program, thanks to the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. We will start that in June. So if you're looking for a job for this summer and into the fall, we've got some applications on the in the lobby area, so make sure you pick those up as well. Okay, so today because of the topic of post-secondary success, we wanted to give 2 $100 scholarships to 2 seniors that presented today. And those seniors are, and I want you to come up here and stand up here so everyone can see you. Angel, where's Angel? Come on up. And the second person is Elijah. Where is Elijah? They did an awesome job in their speech. Thank you. And they're going to receive a $100 gift card that they can use for books or school supplies for next year. So thank you.